Forgot what her voice sounded like.
It's been a little bit. It's been a couple of weeks, you know.
Hmm.
I miss the lady in those little breaks that we have. Except my lady's different now, so not as good.
What's your name? My lady's no longer a lady.
No, my lady's she's just not as nice anymore.
Would you describe your lady as a phone receptionist or drive-through McDonald's?
No, like right in the middle of that, she's like the office lady at your primary school when you were trying to get yourself taken out because you had like a doctor's appointment in the afternoon. And you were like, "My mom's here to pick me up," and she was like, "Is she?" And you were like, "Fuck." That's what my lady is. Um, but it's okay. You know what? It's fine.
I was there a few times in that situation. Where are you off to? Wouldn't you like to know? I've got a doctor's appointment. What for? To get away from here.
uh,
Ah,
dear
take me
Lord.
back.
I know. Well, instead, here we are at 8:30 on a Sunday doing this.
Kind of reminiscent of earlier in the year.
We're back to our normal Sunday night recording times.
Yeah, and we're not hungover.
Score. Even better.
I think this is the second one in a row.
Yeah, maybe even I think I'm at like my third in a row or something like that. I think the week before you were out, but like I think this is my third one in a row where I've been rolling.
How do you feel about
Amazing. Actually amazing. Uh,
this is what healthy people feel like.
oh dear.
We've got a lot in store for you.
And by a lot we mean a little bit.
And by a little bit, I mean scraping, man.
Yeah, that's fine though, because it's fine. Let's get to 45 minutes and let's roll through.
I would say break it, but there's a lot of stuff broken in that room at the moment, so I might break it myself.
Break it.
That's the play of the game. That is the play of the game. Time!
From the impossible angle, and he puts it through, and Portly.
Danger, 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 danger. Butler, 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 Butler.
Get around him! Get around him! Edge of the seat.
Jared Thomas, welcome to episode 37 of The Table Glass.
Table of glass, fully glassed up table. I this is an issue, right? So as you can tell, my background is a little bit different to the usual. Unfortunately, we don't have the Swans jumper in the back. I'm looking at it because I've been redecorating, as some would say. Um, and I don't know, I needed some more air in my room or something like that, I suppose. So we installed one of those like skylight things. So the desks moved around a little bit while, while we're sorting that out. But I was like, I was gonna do it in a different room, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it in this room. Just be done with it. Oh, but everything's everywhere. I don't have like anything. Like I usually have a bunch of stuff on my desk and like all these papers and things. I've literally got a laptop, a drink, and my phone. That's what I'm rolling with right now. That's great.
I think that happening for you to redecorate has actually enabled you to move those beer glasses that you had in there.
This is the least amount of beer glasses I've had in this room in a very long time because there's none. It's really weird.
It's kind of like the bars that your mum always has in the front room, but like someone breaks it and it's got to go.
And you're like,
Kind of has a
wow.
different aura about it.
Yeah, like the whole room feels different because the one thing's
Mm.
gone. Yeah, absolutely.
So when did you decide to start playing Zathura in real life?
Oh, I that story would make me look better than what actually ended up happening. The fact that I was sitting at my desk, like writing notes or whatever it is, and then I just felt this drip on my head, and I was like, just drip, 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 and then woke up one morning and fucking there was water everywhere.
That's fucked.
Yeah. Oh well. You know what? Maybe I just wanted to change the scenery for the background of my thing. Maybe I just, you know, how you had your different background, whatever time it was, this a couple times ago. Now this is my change for a different background.
Yeah, but that was kind of forced mine, and I wasn't really in a place that should have been a recording. Probably wasn't in a state to be recording. That's about it from me.
Oh well.
We got it done, and as long as the people enjoyed it, that's all that counts.
Exactly.
Did I enjoy it? Well, can't enjoy everything in life, can you?
It was done.
I guess we would just talk a bit of footy.
We've got some footy to talk about, which is astonishing.
Gather round. Now, gather round is happening in Adelaide again, which is, well, great for me because like I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to go anywhere. But yeah, like they've announced the fixture. It's a bit odd. It's in April, obviously. 5 games at the Adelaide Oval, 4 in regional parts of South Australia, 2 at Norwood, 2 at Mount Barker. And we're kicking off the Thursday night, Jared, with Adelaide, Melbourne, which, you know, I think the way Adelaide played Carlton last year and the way it worked was a good way to kick it off. So why not give it to them again? But yeah, I don't know. What are your initial thoughts seeing this fixture for the gather round?
Look at the fixture as a whole. I might just be biased due to the fact that I was at the last one and I won't be able to be at this one. I might just be a little bit biased. But I think this fixture's not as good. I'm definitely biased towards it. There's a couple games here where I'm like, that's good. But like, I think they kind of missed a trick, I think. With gather rounds, I think you should have like Adelaide and Port play against like some of the big Victorian teams that come over, because like being able to build that kind of crowd and that kind of atmosphere and the whole SA and Vic thing, I think is a bit of a missed opportunity. So I think you put Adelaide Carlton last year is a good one. That's a good example of one big fan bases. That makes sense. But you've got Adelaide playing Melbourne. Melbourne have some fans, not a dramatic amount. Port Essendon's okay. It's fine. But like Port Collingwood would have been pretty cool, I think. Or like, you know, do Port Carlton this year or something like that. Like, I don't know. Weird vibes. Just weird vibes all around.
Oh, I agree. Like I look at it and I go through so I'll go through it for everyone so everyone knows. So if you're listening to this before you've seen the AFL release a fixture, well, good on you, to be honest, because it's been a day and a half by the time you listen. So Adelaide, Melbourne on the Thursday night. Friday Arvo or twilight is Brisbane North at Norwood Oval. Adelaide Oval on Friday night is Port Essendon. Sydney play the Eagles on Saturday early in Mount Barker. The doubleheader at the Adelaide Oval is Carlton Freo and then the Dogs and Cats. Sunday is the expansion rivalry of the Giants and the Suns playing in Mount Barker. Richmond Saints at Norwood Oval on the Sunday prime time. And then to finish off gather round is Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval, Hawthorn versus Collingwood. Now, for me, it's not about. It's not about who's playing who. It's where they are. And I look at Brisbane North in Norwood. Last year they played in Mount Barker, so they've shifted them to Norwood. So next year, if that game happens again, they could be at the Adelaide Oval. Yeah, they're just building up.
It's going, guys. You can get there.
Getting up the scale.
Yep.
Shoving the Giants and the Suns 12 p.m. on a Sunday in Mount Barker is criminal. Because you've got to think, right, how many of the gather round people coming over for their teams and traveling are going to then travel the Sunday morning after the Saturday night to Mount Barker? Now, for those that don't know where Mount Barker is, it's a good half an hour away from the city. From the city. For someone like me, it's a good 75 minutes. I'm so over the limit. That's all I'm saying.
There'll be like 3 people at that game.
I then look Richmond St Kilda, right? Good game, but you've put it at Norwood. Finishing it off with Collingwood, Hawthorn, smart play, Ginnivan Cup. Plenty of Collingwood fans. There's plenty of Hawthorn fans in Adelaide as well because I know they get a good turnout always when they play Port. So I like that ending the round. But yeah, it's very fun. And the games are later this year. Like there is 7:10's normal for a Thursday night. Now I'm talking normal time, not your futuristic bullshit time that you go run. But 4:40, 7:40, that's 8:10 on a Friday night. And then you've got 7:40 Saturday night, 4:40 for a twilight. Like, it just have they missed a trick?
You know what they are really smart with the Collingwood Hawthorn game is the most smart schedule of all of them. For one, Collingwood Hawthorn is Ginnivan Cup, makes sense. It's going to be whatever. Two, they know the Collingwood fans will come for the entire weekend. Like they know if they put them on the Sunday, they're going to rock up on the Friday and go to all the games. And like they are very, very smart like that. They did it like that this year as well, knowing that they were going to come on the Thursday or Friday and stay the entire time. So they're very smart like that. Well done, Gather Round. Good work. Putting the reigning grand finalists in Brisbane at 4:40 on a Friday
Against North.
against North is questionable, to say the least. But like, yeah, like these times that are being shown, they're obviously like the Adelaide times. These are the kind of normal times for Vic, but obviously this is Adelaide. So like our 7:40 is usually your 7:10. Like they're pushing back. So now we get pushed back at like a half hour. 8:10 start. Victorians complain a lot when there's a 7:50 start. Fucking 8:10 is going to be.
That's an extra 20 minutes.
Oh boy, 8:10 is going to be questionable. Even like the 5:10 start on a Sunday, like, oh boy.
In terms of just going back to the games, I think it's like I said today. I sent a tweet out. I said this is a bang average fixture. Like looking at it, you base on it this year's form, it's bang average.
This looks good.
Like if I looked at this, if this is round 15 and you're playing them at all the home games, away games, wherever they are, it is fucking. We're jumping on this podcast and going, I couldn't give two. Yeah. So you're lucky. I don't know if they've been like, well, gather round. People are going for the experience more so than the games. Let's just shove bang average fixtures and people will go anyway. The Port Essendon one, I like the idea of Adelaide wise because you're putting them two in the prime time slots. I look at last year's, there was 45,000 that attended the game for the Port Dogs. But there was a lot of that filtered between both.
Yeah.
So overall, you're getting 45,000, 50,000 in total. You're having a decent crowd for both, but they're the same people. So having an opportunity for Port fans to really attend their own game is, I think, a lot more beneficial. Plus, it's the Dersma Cup.
The Brandon Zerk Thatcher Cup.
Byron Arrow Cup, we'll call it. So I don't mind that. The Harrison Petty should have been Cup is on the Thursday night. The one that gets me, though, man, the one that gets me is the Cats and the Dogs on the Saturday night.
Prime time Cats versus Dogs.
I'm telling you now, there's no one in South Australia that gives two fucking shits about this game.
Oh, Adelaide Oval's going to be a nightmare on Saturday when there's nothing going on.
They put Carlton Freo as the twilight on the Saturday. Now, you and I attended the twilight this year for Melbourne Essendon.
I was going to say Essendon was one of them, and I don't remember.
Look, I don't remember a lot about Gather Round this year. Maybe two or three things, but that was not a game that I remember.
No.
So having Carlton Freo and the twilight slot, yeah. It's very funny. It'd be funny if they lose.
It would be funny if they lose, absolutely, because that game is set up for Carlton fans to go to it to watch like a 10-goal win and then like go and drink the night away or whatever. But it'd be very funny if they do lose.
Because like they don't win in Adelaide. Imagine not playing an Adelaide team and still losing here. And they lose to Freo.
Oh boy.
Poor people. But yeah, so yeah, it's a bang average fixture in my opinion. That's all I've got for that, I reckon.
Yeah, and that's Gather Round. Good work, guys.
Um, Obviously you're not going to go next year, but from your experience this year coming over interstate,
Mhm.
is there something that could be done differently, you think, in terms of
Um,
not just the games, but like uh what do they call the things that radio teams do and
and stuff.
stuff?
Being able to
Yeah,
like
activities,
my
activations.
my favorite part of Gather Round was like just seeing really random fans everywhere. Like I do not see many Brisbane fans, and I saw a lot of them, and like just going out different places, like going to a pub or just walking down the street and going to lunch or whatever, and just seeing like a Sydney fan. You're like, I don't see many of you. Like, it's just the whole atmosphere of seeing all these different fans is really cool to me. And if there was a way that they could get it so that like that's more mingled and mixed around, like obviously they had like the big festival thing with the fucking zip line or whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember, but like
Mm.
they had that big area, which was pretty cool, but it didn't get utilized enough. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it though. Like I don't know how they would, but having a way to sort of like really bring people from like all different parts of the country into the one spot, which is what the point of the weekend is. Like I don't know. It's that was my favorite part, being able to just see random fans be like, "That's weird. I don't usually see an Adelaide fan just around," and then you're seeing heaps of them because you're there. So like weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there was not enough. Like, there was definitely a platform set,
Yeah,
but like, if you do, I don't know, like you didn't know players were going to be there. So I guess if you got people to go with like advertising players were there, or sort of separating the kids, from the adult areas,
yeah.
I don't know. But I guess we
Guess
didn't
everyone
see it
will
as
find
much as we'd like,
out.
or I don't know, it was done past 10 p.m. in places that weren't advertised for Gather Round.
No. Oh, well, I also think, like, I think I'm the only one, or like, I think I'm in the majority when I say this. I think the crowds aren't going to be as good. Like,
Are
a
you
lot
talking looks, or
of.
just because you're not attending, brother, doesn't mean you have to downgrade everyone else?
No, so like, I think people think that every single person that went to the last one is going to want to go to this one. And like, I don't think that's the case. I think everyone wanted to go to this year's one because it was a novelty. Like, it was the first time it was happening. It's like a new thing. And now that it's not like worn out, but now that it's been done before, people that went last year will be like, yeah, like it was okay, but I don't need to go again. Like I'm all right, kind of thing. So I think the crowds might not be as good, or won't really like they can't really improve upon what they did last year. I suppose.
I guess, but also at the same time, this one as well, I'm pretty sure is after Easter,
Yeah, that is. I think you're right.
whereas
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was actually last year as well. Maybe it's before Easter. One of the two.
Yeah.
So, like, if I guess the traveling options with work and stuff would be a bit awkward, but I get your point. But at the same time, I do feel like people that went this year don't necessarily have to go again because their experience would have told others to say, "Hey,
It's
let's
pretty good.
go.
Yeah.
We'll get a bigger group of friends." Like, um, people that would have seen, and we know personally, like we would have told people, and they're like, "Oh, sick, there, let's go." And now they're actually putting those plans in place to actually come over. I think, especially you look at the teams like Melbourne and Essendon, that was shoved into one game last year, whereas now they got two over 2 days. So maybe spreading it across might be a bit different.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see, but obviously it's still fucking ages away. But like, yeah, like very very early release for a fixture. But yeah, no, it is what it is. It'll be interesting. But gather around, hey.
Well, yeah. To be honest, if you look at we talk about fixtures, if I look at what the AFL are painting at the moment in terms of the ideas they've released for the fixture, like gather round, round zero, and with the potential for what round one could be. Not a good advertisement for next year's fixture at this
It's been
rate.
a very poor start. Been a real rough start to proceedings, but oh well. And then the debacle of the AFLW fixturing continues through the finals, so similar vibes.
Speaking of the AFLW,
I was going to say, I think I led into that quite nicely.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Nice. Absolutely.
Look at you go. Just painting the picture and I just dubbed the brush. Fantastic. The finals happen this weekend. Now we don't normally talk AFLW because one, we're not that educated when it comes to AFLW, and two, well, both our teams aren't in the finals, so
We got close. I mean,
well, one of us did.
yeah, we got close. Or didn't quite. But no, I know like enough about AFLW. I know enough about St Kilda AFLW to get by. League as a whole, I know enough to be able to watch and sort of get it, and like get enough about the players and stuff. But the inner workings and things like that's why we don't obviously touch on it that much because we don't want to sound like fucking idiots. So,
well, we do sound like that anyway, but we don't want to sound more
like idiots. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, the round one fixture of the finals happened. There was some surprising-ish results. I say surprising-ish because I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, I could. The biggest one is the last one, but I want to say firstly what I was talking about the fixturing. So last time we were on this podcast, I spoke about how I hate the way the AFLW fixtures were working this year because of the fucking 4 p.m. games on a Friday night. That's whatever. This one, they outdid themselves. Everybody absolutely outdid themselves. The AFLW put the 2 Victorian finals on the same day and made it physically impossible to go to both. They put one in Geelong and one in Carlton. 2 hours, like starting from each other.
Put it this way: if you put Adelaide, Brisbane on the Friday night and had one of the Sunday games come into that Saturday time slot, I think your crowds get bigger.
Yes.
And your crowds get bigger for the Victorian games, and you're going to get a big crowd at Norwood Oval for the Crows Brisbane game and money.
They're stupid. It's stupid, but oh man, I mean, whatever. I hate how badly they fixture it. I hate everything about the way they try and set it up, and it just pisses me off. I just, oh, well.
They're just cutting bread with an unsharpened knife.
That's the perfect way to put it. Yeah,
because they're like, oh, we want so much of this, but like we're struggling to get through it. Well, you want to have more games in the next 5 years. You want more people to attend the games. Just don't. Just your fixture's your starting point.
Fucking figure it out. Like there are more. Like the AFLW is a really rare spot at the minute where, because it's a newer league, the AFLW is in a spot where there are a lot more casual fans of the league itself than specific teams a lot of the time. Like there are a lot of people that just will go to an AFLW game regardless of who's playing, kind of thing, which the AFL doesn't always have. So put the fucking Victorian games on separate days so that you can actually go to the 2 where fans can be like, yeah, like, I'll go here and then I'll go here. Like, and like,
the other
media as well. You have to split the media. Like, Victoria has the most AFLW media adjacent people. Why would you make it literally impossible for the best of the best to go to both when you have to split it halfway and not get as good coverage? It's infuriating. Like, it is. Yeah.
I think as well, like, and I add to the point of that argument is the AFL want to find ways to find loopholes into beating the other leagues of other sports. Like you look at the A League, it's going really well at the moment, I think. You look at other stuff that's coming on board, the cricket's starting to build in and stuff like that. They want the AFLW to find a sweet spot. I think they have found that sweet spot. Now they've got to manipulate it to work it in a way where we can get the best of both worlds. Now, it just starts with the fixture. You can't be putting 2 Victorian games on a Sunday
Yep.
at 12:30 and 2:30 SA time. You've got an SA team who's finished top of the table playing in Norwood on a Saturday arvo at 2:30. How many people go out on a 2:30 on a Saturday playing cricket? Playing cricket. You want your audience watching? I struggled with that word. I don't know why. Friday night, compete with your counterparting leagues at that time, and you're going to get the fixture. People will choose. I mean, yes, it's Adelaide and Brisbane, but imagine you're at a pub, right, in Melbourne or in Sydney, wherever, and the AFLW finals are on. I think you're going to find that a footy fan is going to tune into that more so than another league or another sport.
Especially when it's a good game too. Like it ends up being a good game in the end, which is something that, you know, everyone wants to see. And like this year has become known for the games becoming better. People are actually interested in watching it. And then they're like, if they hadn't watched it all year, but they've heard that the games have been getting better, and then they know that the finals are on, they'll be like, oh, the best teams are playing. I could probably watch this one. So put it at a normal fucking time where people are actually going to go and watch it. I don't know. But yes, week 1 has been done.
I'll run through the results quickly for you to get this show on the road. So the Lions bet the Crows at Norwood 39-37. The Crom kicked 4 behinds in the last quarter, had their chances, but the Lions, who for some reason lose every good player under the sun in the off season and still finish in the finals. Yep. That night, the Suns lost to the Swans, who are just the feel-good story, I think, of the AFLW at the moment, going from last to pretty much first.
Literally about to say, the Swans AFLW system is so fucking good right now. Everything about them, like if I'm going for a team right now, it's Sydney, because they are fucking so fun to watch for one. They've got really good players and their culture is just cool. Like they're just a cool team to follow and support. Sydney are fucking dominating, and I'm glad to see them winning games because it's cool.
And Chloe Malloy.
She's a good fucking footballer. Very good footballer.
Yeah. I watch her and I'm thinking, well, if I was a defender and I'm playing on her, there might be one person on the list that actually may win that contest.
It's not going to be me.
It won't be me. Rare to say, it won't be me. And then the Sunday games, Geelong bet the Bombers, and this made me laugh because I looked at the score at 3/4 time.
Mm-hmm.
The D's lost to the Roos, 50-9. At 3/4 time, it was 36-2. That is what a goal for 3 quarters.
The D's, man, they much like I saw a tweet today. It was like much like the men's team, the women's team fall apart the wrong part of the year. And I was like, yeah, there it is. Like, North, North in the AFLW have had. I like to say they're like the 2009 Bulldogs, right? Where they are constantly like the 3rd or 4th best team. Like they're never Adelaide, they're never Melbourne, they're not quite Brisbane, but they're North, and they're like almost there. Like they would be the best team any other year if they didn't have those 3 fucking powerhouses every time. But this year it was like they took it and said, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to absolutely pace Melbourne around the glass and just actually win a finals game and like be like, you know what? No, I'm sick of finishing 4th. I'm gonna fucking do this.
Just North being North, really.
Good on you, North. Proud of you.
So the semi-finals are set up for next week. Mm-hmm. It's Adelaide versus Sydney here, and then here being Adelaide, by the way.
Yeah.
And then the D's take on the Cats. Now, let's hope they don't schedule it at the same time.
No, I think we've got Saturday at 7:45. My time is Adelaide, Sydney, and then we've got Sunday 3:05. So Sunday primetime, Melbourne, Geelong. I don't mind that. That's okay. Sunday's okay.
Again,
I know
it's semi-final week.
Could do the Friday.
Hello.
Also, like
Friday night football.
They're also just putting a lot of players in danger. Like it could be very well very hot on the Sunday at 3 for Melbourne Geelong. Like I don't know what the actual weather is here, but it could very well be like a 40, not 40 degree day, but like be a 30-degree day and be really. It says 25 on my thing. So
27 on the bureau.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. Like danger, you know, you could play them at night on any of the other days. Like the Friday is meant to be 18 or whatever, or 20. You just play that on the night, and that's just a nice night. It's a nice night for football, you know?
We Adelaide temperature for Saturday is 28.
Ooh. Hello.
Next weekend's going to be a good weekend. Temperature's quite nice. Anyway, good luck
That's
to
it.
the semi-finalists.
Yeah,
AFLW still kicking goals.
absolutely it is. And it's getting better.
I'm glad.
Absolutely.
Would you consider an AFLW gather round?
You could, if I think you could only do it now if you do it in line with the AFL men's. Like I think the fixtures should be aligned for one. I think they should have it AFLW and the men's going at the same time. But I think you wouldn't be able to get, like, it's not financially stable enough to be able to do it, I suppose. If you crammed them into like 2 days, like if you did like 5 games on one day, 4 on another, and you just go fucking back to back like it's a round robin, then maybe you get it. Like you might be able to do it, but I don't think you could spread it over like a Thursday to Sunday kind of deal.
Why don't you just put all 18 teams in one complex, one stadium, right? And 2 teams kick it off, right? The loser is out. Then the winner plays the next team, and the winner of that stays in. And whoever finishes, in the end, yeah, survival of the fittest, really.
Just so you can hold on.
If you pull the 18th draw, oh boy,
Yeah, having a good one.
money.
Oh.
Just a couple of things, that come to
Thought.
mind. Out of the box thinking.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's the AFLW ticked off.
What's next?
I don't know. Didn't you do the run sheet?
Well, I know the next 2 things. I know there's 2 things that we're doing, 3 things that we're doing, and I don't know what order they're going in. So,
just quickly before we do that, I know what order they go in because I'll tell you in a second.
Mhm.
Well, I put down here. I must have done this in like Tuesday or something because I put down here Travis Boak training.
Is that the Horn Francis thing, the ice bath thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not normally would I bring it up, but
Good.
I just find it very funny.
That is good. That was good. It was a good little post there, Travi. Well done.
Good when a 35-year-old is just stirring the pot. And I love how he drew the degrees as well, just to prove a point. Wouldn't call 8 degrees exactly ice bath material, Trav, but
sure, man.
good on you. Good on you. I don't know if we touched on this in the last one as well, but Petrarca's over there with him, or was over there with him.
I think we did touch on it because we said that he's going to come back like a fucking superstar.
Yeah, I did.
And that Trav was going to let Cookie from him.
Well, now Jason Horn-Francis has tag teamed in, and he's winning at Brownlow next year. Hey, if you can get 3 votes for 13 touches and 4 clangers, and you're training with Trav Boak in the off season,
he's good then.
Wonder what he's paying. All right, what we'll do. I don't know how I want to order this because I think it would be funny if we did our lists before the other thing we've got. But also, I think people might like the thing we've got before the list. We've also got to go around the glass table. We're going to do the list.
Right, let's do the list.
I think we'll get them out of the way because...
Short, sharp lists. Let's do it.
You just made the list!
Who's going first? Am I going first or you going first?
I'll go first. Let's change it up.
Let's do it.
Righto.
Right.
All right, so my list for this week. It's inspired by... That wasn't English. It's inspired by something that happened not too long ago. But I'll read them out first, just before you guess. So, 5 players. Bobby Hill, Tex Walker, Blake Acres, Aaliyah, Hugo Ralph Smith.
What? Bobby Hill, Tex Walker, The fuck is Hugo Ralph Smith in there?
It's every Richmond fan after team selections.
Yeah. What was it? Bobby Hill, Tex Walker, Blake
Blake
Acres.
Acres, Alir Lear, Hugo Ralph Smith.
See, I thought it was like a trade thing, but then Tex and Hugo both haven't. No, no, I'm wrong.
How do you know?
No, I know I'm wrong. I was gonna say it was like a because I was thinking a trade thing again, but Tex hasn't been traded. But I didn't know if it was something to do with like future fourth round or future third round picks. Because Blake. Fuck. It's hurting my brain. Hugo Ralph Smith. What the fuck? I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay, I'll tell you. So the names of the list were Hugo Ralph Smith, Alir, Blake Acres, Tex Walker, and Bobby Hill. These players would be perfect names to be horse names at the Melbourne Cup.
I was nowhere in the ballpark. I was not even close.
I was going to put in Phoenix Spicer, but he's delisted.
Oh yeah, he would have so made it too. Fuck, that's a good one. Blake Acres, I 100% agree with. That's a good one.
Tex Walker's pretty good.
Tex Walker is very like, yeah, absolutely.
I
Hugo
think
Ralph
there's
Smith
more.
sounds like a trainer.
Or just a back marker.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Bobby Hill, I think, gets a good run.
Yep.
But yeah, Blake Acres and Tex Walker really stood out. And Alir is just, you see horses with the two same names.
Yeah. That's good. No, that's very good. I like that.
Inspired by the Melbourne Cup this
Go
week, which I won. So just putting it out there. So anyway, what have you got?
All right, my list. Here we go. You ready? It's going to be a good start. Alex Fasolo, Darren Minchington, Max Lynch, Matt Spanger, Jake King.
What? Max Lynch, Jake King, Alex Fasolo. Are they players that grew up as Richmond supporters?
That would have been good, but no, they are not. That's a good guess. Do you have any other guesses?
No, I mean Max Lynch has just absolutely put me to the pillar.
This one is highlighted by Jake King. Let's say he's like the poster boy for this one. Players you think played a lot of AFL games but didn't. They just you hear the name and you're like, yeah, I know who they are, and like you've got pretty decent memories associated with them, and then you look and you're like, fuck, you didn't actually play that many games. Jake King only just scraped past 100 games.
See, I would have thought he was a 200 gamer.
Yeah, right. Like the amount they talk about Jake the Push-Up King, you'd think he played a lot of games. He scraped past 100.
I love the Matt Spanger one because that's like cult hero status. Same with
Yeah.
Jake King. Max Lynch is just, it's the casual fan for Max Lynch is just going, oh yeah, Tom Lynch plays for Richmond.
And Max Lynch also in like 2020 had those good COVID videos where he was like posting memes and shit on his Instagram, and that was when he was good too. So like people associate more games with him than he actually played because he was funny. There you go.
So Hugo Ralph Smith and Max Lynch should sit down for lunch. It's just simply, they're the only list they're appealing on.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It's
That was good.
creative. Getting more and more creative with these.
I know, because we're starting to you gotta like try and stump it. I had like one that was a lot easier originally, and I was like, oh, that'll be a save it for later one when I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think we sit here and we go, I think we're just so stupid that we wouldn't guess the most obvious.
Yeah, that's fair. We would think way too hard about
I definitely did. I heard Max Lynch and I was like, hang on,
it.
at Hawthorn.
Guys in concussion protocol. Like
Jake King gave those out.
I was gonna say Jake King certainly knows a
He's
concussion.
going after the king. All right,
What's next?
let's go around glass table.
Let's do it.
I don't have an intro for it, so
No, that's okay.
where are we going? We're going around the glass table.
This week.
This week on the glass table that we sat at and went around with, what did we do, Jared?
We had our bit of it was after your list last week. Your favorite AFL/celebrity crossovers. We had a shitload of responses to this one.
I was going to say, calm down.
So my one was Shane Warne with St Kilda, obviously a very well-known St Kilda fan. He was in the Saints reserves back in the day. So that's, that's my one. Your ones were?
I had Jason Momoa, who's representing the Port Adelaide Magpies, but I know for a fact is a Port man, and also Hugh Jackman. The debate for Hugh Jackman is out there because he attends games when he does, and they're always different. So they give him scarves and shit.
Yep.
But I know for a fact he's good friends with Chad Corns, so we're claiming him. We're claiming Wolverine.
You claim the Wolverine. That's good. No, that's good. And he's the best.
And also, I think for those WWE fans out there, Bronson Reed, massive Port Adelaide man.
I didn't know that actually. Yeah, he's a big, like real big Port Adelaide fan.
He's also a very massive man.
Yeah,
so
he's also
fits the
just
caliber.
Just a big
So,
dude.
If you're available to walk alongside Ollie Wines next year, Bronson, hit me up.
Can we spot the midfield for you?
You are the midfield.
All right. Along with our quote tweets, we had one from Sabrina here who had 4 different Carlton ones. So we had Will Smith with Fev, which is very funny. We have ABBA back in the day wearing the old woolen VFL jumpers. Amazing. We have Olivia Newton-John with a long sleeve Carlton jumper sitting next to Andrew Demetriou. And then, of course, Ange Postecoglou, who, as we know, is a Carlton fan. And he mentioned it in a press conference earlier this year. And afterwards, he said to the journalist, "You guys have no idea what I'm talking about."
Mate.
So good. I love that. They're really
it.
good on. Yeah, they're very good on. What have you got?
There's a lot of comments here. You know what has stood out for me in all of these? A bit of a summary. I'll rattle off the Hawthorn ones.
I was going to say.
There is a lot
of
Hawthorn ones. Few that mentioned the in-betweeners boys, which was great gear. We saw Tory post One Direction in Hawthorn Guernseys, but Harry Styles has quickly jumped off that wagon and gone to Fremantle, which is, look, he's done a lot of great decisions in his career. That wasn't one of them.
Not one of them.
No, I think you have more Grammys than finals appearances than them, brother. So stick with that one. I think there was another one as well. I think that's Tottenham, a few Tottenham boys attending Hawthorn there. I think I'll find a couple of other Hawthorn ones that were. I think it's just in betweeners again. So, yeah, Hawthorn, just a whole bunch of Hawthorn.
Yeah, Hawthorn got a lot of mentions, which was really funny to see. Really weird though. I think it's because when celebrities started coming in, because the AFL started leaning in towards the celebrity kind of stuff, Hawthorn were really good at the time. So they were like, let's go to the good team that was like there, which I like a lot. My personal favorite one isn't even like they come over and get put a jumper on. It's the one that Onions put in. And it's Jack Harlow posting on his Instagram story. It was like, they did the math at the time. It was like 2 a.m. like in the US. And he was watching AFL highlights and looking at the old, what the goal umpires used to wear, like the top and whatever. And then, like, however long after, he posts a photo and he's in a Demons polo.
Yeah. It was just so random.
It's so fucking confusing because it comes out of nowhere and no one knows why. No one knows to this day why he did it and why he has a Melbourne polo. Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. It was so funny, man. Um,
Oh shit, that's good.
Follow that up as well. Like you've got just a few random ones. A few people have followed up with Jason Momoa as well,
Yeah.
which is great fun. A couple of Richmond ones as well, by the looks of it. The one that stood out for me though, and you can jump on it as well, and this just really made me laugh hysterically, is Samuel L. Jackson taking a specky on Robert Harvey.
That photo is one of the all-time photos.
And it's in the old Guernsey as well, the TUI sponsorship.
It's the best. It's so good. It is one of the best photos ever. It's like peak Samuel L. Jackson as well. It's so good. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it. I don't know why it exists, but it's the best.
It's just, and he's got two hands. They're in a good position. The best part about it is I'd love to hear what he said after he took the mark.
Yeah.
Like, let's get this motherfucking ball in my motherfucking hands or something. He would.
Best.
Samuel Jackson's pre-game speech.
Oh, bit all time.
Bit of Coach Carter about it. Bit of Snakes on the Plane
Yeah.
mixed in. What do you reckon it'd sound like?
You'd just be able to run through a wall afterwards, wouldn't you? You just fucking love it. Oh, that's the best.
Nick Fury.
Yeah, literally. Like, oh, so good. There's a few Saints ones that obviously didn't make the thing here, but I said the Shane Warne one. Saints have got quite a few celebrity fans. Ed Sheeran's obviously one through Michael Gudinski. Eric Banner is one that we speak about a fair bit as well. I think I even spoke about it last week. And there's one on here, right? And it looks weird, right? Because it's Booker T.
Yeah.
In the letterfied jumper for one. So we were terrible in the letterfied jumper. And he's getting a photo with two wrestlers called the Young Bucks. And they aren't Australian. This photo, I don't think is taken in Australia. But for some reason, he's wearing a letterfied jumper and he's taking a photo with two not Australian wrestlers in a locker room that I don't know where it is.
It was certainly the most baffled one. It was the first one that was posted by Ari, and it just, as soon as I looked at it, I was like, oh, Jared will love it. But at the same time, I was like,
who the fuck are these people?
What what's that?
Yeah, the best. That one, like, I was like in stitches of laughter when I saw that. Like, I was piecing myself. It's so funny.
One,
great.
Oh yeah, I just very weird ones. Some of these, and Booker T stood out. The other one that stood out for me was Ric Flair with the Richmond Boys. Now, this to me is just peak marketing photo.
Yeah.
You can just hear in this photo some bloke standing behind the camera. He's not even holding the camera. Richo, give us the gun show. Rick, put Richo in a headlock. Yeah, everyone smile.
These are the best. These photos are so good. There's some really good ones. Like more Richmond here, Ash Barty's or not. Ash Barty's a very obvious one as well. She was obviously the Premiership Cup ambassador in 2020. Always been a massive Richmond fan. That's fine. We've got Robbie Williams, who again went back onto the Carlton just this year. Yeah. He was back into it. And then another personal favorite of mine is from Catalano, and it's Snoop Dogg wearing a Gold Coast. Which is the best.
My other favorite as well is just, it was posted by Ben, is Kim Kardashian holding the Crows Guernsey. And you can instantly see I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what this is, but sure.
Same with like Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Any other?
And that's the last one. Like the last one I think we haven't touched on is Barack Obama holding an Eagles jumper with Obama on the back.
Just very funny.
This was very fun.
Another one I missed out on last week that I don't think I put it in. And I should have posted it again this week. Valtteri Bottas. So like F1 come over as well, but his is the coolest because I think I did say this, that he is an honorary Australian, but he took
Yeah.
a photo with Richmond when they were over here, and he's in the Guernsey. He's got the fucking sunnies on. He's got the mullet going, and it's just you're a mid-tier racing driver, but fuck, you are one of my favorites.
I love you.
I'm surprised West Coast fans didn't jump on this as well with Daniel Ricciardo because he is
He's
a
like,
massive West Coast fan.
well, like very well known West Coast fan. That's the thing I love about the St Kilda ones is we get real random ones sometimes. Like, and they're always weird connections. Like the Eric Banner one is from life because that's just he's Australian. It makes sense. Shane Warne's the same. Ed Sheeran, you get the Michael Gudinski one, but then like the random ones like the Booker T and the Samuel Jackson, it's just like that's odd.
Yeah, I'm going to dive a bit deeper. This is something we should continue because I reckon there's more out there.
There will definitely be more. Like, there's so many that I'm thinking of now that didn't get put in that. Like, there's Cena. Obviously, Ed Sheeran didn't get a photo in that one. Like, there's so many just random ones where you're like, that's odd.
Should we create an album or a thread?
Yeah, we'll do a thread. That can be the in place of out of context this week. We're just gonna put
Just
our
an album of
ones of just the most random fucking things we can find.
that's my 6:30 at work when no one's calling job tomorrow. Or every day this week.
I like that. That's good.
That arguably maybe the best question we've had.
That is, I think that's our best around the glass table ever. It's just so much fun. Like it's just stupid. It's good.
We obviously posted Chris Hemsworth as well.
Yes,
Because he's a Dogs fan. Doing the it's just Sunday night. There's not a lot going on at the moment. Sorry, everyone. I gardened yesterday. I can't lift my arms. My forearms in a lot of pain.
No.
That hedge trimmer. Just
Got a lot of work.
I told you this yesterday, but it should be a sport, man.
Yeah.
Gardening should be a sport.
Professional gardening.
Like esports, but we do like e-gardening or something. I don't know. Who can trim a hedge quickest?
I don't know. There'll be a contest out there somewhere in like some country down.
Wonder where. Why? I don't know. Speaking of applying, though, I'll tell you what I did earlier. Is I applied to be in the draft. Was this a mistake? Well, ask my phone, really. Because I applied. I sent my application in.
Yes.
Firstly, I did it because I wanted to do a bit of research to see exactly what I had to go through. Because we heard stories during the week of like, I think it was a 50-year-old or 40-year-old applying to be in the AFL.
Yep.
The applications are open to all as long as you play footy. So, fair play. And they end, I think, when this comes out, it's pretty much over. So I thought it'd be a great idea to see what sort of questions you're asked in this application form. I put a little spin on it. And we've done our own.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they're going to be very funny. So we're going to do this like it's a proper interview type situation. You're at a draft camp. You've just done your little drills and jumpy jump things where you tap the thing, and I've just hit all the bars through and stuff. And like you've done your little side steps and your beep test. 6.1.
Yuck.
So, do you want to go first?
Sure. Let's do it.
Right. So, Jared Thomas.
Hello.
Welcome to the AFL Draft.
It's great to be
Good to
here.
have you.
I'm looking forward to my eventual home.
We'll look to find you one. Obviously, there's 18 different homes. 10 of them are in your state, and 8 of them are in 4 other states. Unless you apply in 2028, when you could be in another state. But we won't make you wait too long.
That's good. Thank you.
So I'm reading your draft application. Name's Jared Thomas, which is a good start. Very easy for a commentator.
Yep.
You're 21 years old, so you're still very young, very vibrant. 182 centimeters and you're 76 kilos. So we can work with that. You've been in the gym, so very good. Dingly dingoes, the ding dings. But you haven't heard that before.
Yep.
Tell me a bit about your junior career at the Ding Dings.
The Ding Dings. Yeah, look, the Ding Dings. we're a great little club. Our suburb is very small, which means that, and like it's a lot. It feels like a lot of old people, and what they love more than anything in the world is Saturday and Sunday mornings. Every single person in the suburb converges on the football field and watches. So I was in like under 11s playing home games. You shouldn't be cared about. But we got some fucking crowds for 11 games. Because everybody in the suburbs wanted to go watch us. We started off with like one team, and then we split to two, and then we went back to one team, and then split to two again, and it was just a whole lot of just mixing and matching kind of thing. But I made an okay career of myself in the juniors. I played 117 games, and then I was forced into early retirement at the ripe old age of 20. But I'm returning to make my impact on the draft.
I've heard good things after finishing in the top 10 of the third this year after playing 4 games, and it shows to me that when you are attending, you're an impact player. You can do that and do that quite well. So it's good to hear, and I think a lot of clubs are looking for that. I look at your position, halfback, flank, like that is just an impact position. You're going to get your 30 and 3. As I've heard from various sources, one of your friends, Ant, I think his name is, messaged through some of your various various stats. Let me tell you, I think the draft is going to be very impressed. Your job is various, which I never heard of that company, but I think I'm sure they're doing very well. But what caught my eye is your hidden talents.
Yes, that's correct.
And I think I look at these hidden talents and they're based on pressure. And what I mean by that is when asked to do them, that is pressure. You are pressured to do something in a certain situation. So what I will do for you is ask you to showcase these hidden talents for me.
Okay. The second one, I'm going to need to pause and go get a drink and come back.
Look,
the first one I can do. If you've ever seen the Cadbury ad from like, I don't know what year it is, but they get the balloons and they do the little thing and it's like all the noise, whatever. There's an eyebrow dance in it. First time I ever watched it, everyone was pissing themselves, whatever. And I was like, I can do that. And they're like, no, you can't. Like, no one can do that. Yeah, I can.
Oh, to apologize for that unprofessional behavior that I may have caused there. That is very good, and I'm glad you can perform that under pressure. We won't do the second one because that has just proven me enough, and I can definitely maybe at dinner sometime soon we can hear that. One last question is just a fun one, and we thought we'd put 3 different respectable AFL footballers on this list. The question: kill, marry, and kiss out of Dougal Howard, Mason Cox, and Dustin Martin.
What do you say? I've had a long-standing hatred of my man Dougal. And despite him being a St Kilda man, there is not much I could change. So I'm gonna have to kill Dougal. I'm sorry, Dougal. That's my bad. This is where shit gets weird. Married.
Well, we don't have stupid sex.
Married this time. I'm gonna have to marry the big man in Mason Cox. I just think you'll look after me. And I'm gonna
I was gonna go somewhere different.
I'm gonna have to kiss Dustin Martin. That's gonna be the end of me, I think.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Jared. I really look forward to seeing your progression into the AFL after your application. Good luck and all the very best.
Now Anthony Ossiani. I have in front of me the very same questions for you. Firstly, before we get into it, where would you want to get drafted, per se?
Ooh, good one. Didn't ask you that one. Think about that on the toes. Yeah, look, I think I've always been one that seems to venture around quite a bit, whether it's traveling or stuff like that. So you could draft me in Fiji for all I care, but I just want to play footy. So wherever I am best positioned to be.
Correct answer. Well done. That was a correct answer. It wasn't like an opinion. It was a correct answer or a wrong answer, and you got it right. So well done. Have a look here. We've got age 26. We have height 195 centimeters. We have weight. It says weight, then it says 86 centimeters. Height 195 centimeters. Weight 86 centimeters.
Look,
Junior club.
I just want to say before, I'm sorry to cut you off, sir, but I had a keyboard incident as I was typing. So I meant kilos.
Yep. 86 centimeters in weight. Junior club, we have the Golden Grove Kookaburras. Now, I can't say I've heard a lot of Kookaburra junior clubs. I couldn't get through that word, you said. Can you give me a bit of a background on why they're called the Golden Grove Kookaburras, or do you know, or is it just because they want to?
Well, it's a team name, so I guess the history of it all. Where I live is a very borderline country aspect of South Australia, so we do get a lot of kookaburras in the area. And yeah, so I guess when they made the club back in 1995, they named it the Kookaburras because of that reason.
There you go. That was good on the spot too, because I was really hoping I was going to stump you, and I didn't get there. That's a shame. Any junior accolades that I need to be aware of?
I think pretty much my whole 130 games that I played there, and then I think the 10 years I spent at the football club, I was about a 6-time best team man winner, a couple of consistents, and 2 finals in total played in that 10 years, which was not a great time as a footballer, but it's more the memories you make with your teammates.
You just write down a note that Fremantle would like to speak to you. Fremantle. You like Perth? All right. Next position, centre half back. Run me through it. Who do you model your game after in the centre half back role?
Definitely a Lear. Some people call me a less at the football club just because of my caliber to take over multiple positions at once and my longevity in my arms and my jump, reading of the play. Pride myself on that. So I think a Lear is definitely the more perfect type. I'm just one of those that seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Very nice. We've got here job as a content creator. What kind of content are you making?
Subscribe to ThePear. So that's all I have to say. I think I make a YouTube channel for people that love football, particularly Port Adelaide. But it's ventured out with a podcast called The Glass Table that I definitely recommend you should listen to.
Oh, I might have to listen to that one. It sounds pretty stupid sexy. Hidden talents. Well, the one we've got here, I can't exactly prove it from where we're sitting. It says always able to prove Google Maps time of travel wrong. Can you run me through that? Are you an illegal driver, Anthony?
Definitely not. Have my license. Have never been pulled over, so to speak. But what I will say is, it proves that I'm a competitor. I like to really prove people wrong and succeed. And if someone gives me a time, I'd like to beat it. So if it says 35 minutes to get to work, I would love to get there in at least 34.
AFL players are going to be using that excuse forever now. That's very... All right, and the same three players as you gave to me. We've got our classic, the thing that is on every draft, every draft combine questions from now to the end of time. Kill, marry, kiss. Dougal Howard, Mason Cox, Dustin Martin.
Yes, so I went with Kill Dougal Howard straight off the bat, just simply because don't need another one of per se a centre half back who likes to float around and use his fists. So I feel like taking that over would be good. I said Kiss, Mason Cox. Not my type, so I think just one and done type of thing. And then Dusty, well, just prime time, isn't he? The superstar. Quite delicious.
You and every 16-year-old back in 2017 agree with each other?
I was about 20 then, so quite over that sort of age bracket, but same reactions.
Yep. Well, it's a pleasure.
Bombs ads.
It's a pleasure. Like I said, Fremantle will be giving you a call very shortly. And I'm sure they'll be happy to welcome you aboard alongside some absolutely thrilling players such as Brennan Cox and Luke Ryan.
I was always really good at kick to kick back in the day, so looking forward to being in that defensive half.
That was great. I also just laughed and looked up and realized there's a fucking hole in my room.
So much potential for activities. Might do the same.
Oh dear.
Fair to say, I think after all of that, you won't see us on an AFL list next year.
You never know.
Well, you didn't apply, but I did, so fingers crossed, eh?
You might.
But you might not, but I might be.
Yes.
Anyway, see you next year's boss. All right, so I think that's everything.
We're done.
Quite funny.
Very funny.
I think that was a good episode.
I know. Now I'm looking around being like, how's the sign off this week?
I know, it's been 2 weeks since we've done this and about 10 weeks since we've probably signed this off.
I love how I'm looking around my empty room to be like, what's around?
I'm sorry, empathy.
I said empty room.
You said empathy.
Watch it back. It says empty.
If it's empathy, I'll let everyone know.
I know. All right. How do we do this? What's the...
Look, I've got an early thought. Don't think it's safe or secure, but you could definitely throw your laptop into the roof and put it in pitch black, and then I can just fade it out.
What I have to do. I'm going to try... This could be dangerous. I'm going to try and put it in the roof. Okay.
Wait. You know what you can do?
Yes.
Just show it off, and then I'll just zoom into it and then fade.
Wait, I'm just going to...
All right. Well, you know what? That's not how we're ending it, but thanks for showing us your hole.